not only in the Arab world, but also in countries such as Ukraine, Pakistan, Nigeria, and Central African Republic. Alan Kurdi, the drowned boy who washed up on a Turkish beach in September 2015, was only 2 years old. Alan and his family set out before dawn that morning, trying to reach Canada, but their journey wasn't long. 5 minutes after their departure, the boat was hit by high waves, and out of the 23 people in that boat, 14 have died, including Alan, his 5-year-old brother, and his mother. Because of war, out of the total 34 million, an estimated 13.7 school-aged children from Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Libya, and Sudan aren't able to pursue their education. Children have been killed while studying in their classrooms and while sleeping in their beds. They have been orphaned, tortured, kidnapped, and raped. The physical, sexual, and emotional violence to which these children are exposed has shattered their world, destroyed their homes and communities, and broke down their trust in adults. They are naturally dependent on the care, empathy, and love of adults who they love. Their attachments are frequently disrupted in times of war due to the loss or distraction of parents. During war, children lose the opportunity for education. They are forced to flee their homes and move most of the time to a refugee camp, where they wait years in miserable circumstances, hoping that one day their normal life will resume, if it ever does. Why do I care? I care because war only breeds war. Its lack of uneducating children is the first step towards ignorance. Its lack of education today, unemployment tomorrow, then what? A generation of war will only learn how to fight. In 2007, a study searched into the experience of child soldiers in Uganda and the Congo. 28% have been raped. 80 to 90% have been seen someone killed or been beaten themselves. These kids became soldiers, warriors, mothers, and fathers to their orphaned families. In this huge mess of war, people are still silent, yet their voices get loud when a dog gets killed. Remember the dress that was seen in 2 different colors, black and blue or gold and white? Well, it became an international concern more than the death of those innocent children. Most countries sympathize with them, but few actually offer help. These kids are traumatized and suffer from severe depression. He and she who never had proper education, peace and serenity, care of adults, and minimum health condition will never know the true meaning of life. And long after the war ends, they will never fulfill the potential they had before war. That's why I care about peace. That's why I care about humanity. And that's why I care about the generation of war. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenda. Your time was 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Jury, any questions?
Okay, thank you, Kenda. Let's put our hands together for Hamad Skandarani.
Good morning. I see a shady figure, blurred lines and shapes, a mixture of blacks and whites, a mysterious figure struggling to take form and definition, a wild spirit striving to make its footprint. I see all of that every time I look into the mirror. I scratch my eyes and try to grab focus of what is my own reflection. And after I've finally been able to analyze what was before me, I ask myself, what am I? Is this what I truly want to be? A question that roars widely inside each and every one of us. A question thirsty for an answer. You know, we humans, we tend to abide by society's laws and regulations because we need a place to fit in. We are gregarious creatures, social beings. It is in our nature. And this act of blending in plays a very huge role in determining our character, our individuality. However, this act goes off track when one's desire to earn his society's approval goes to such an extent that it would become of a higher priority than one's approval of himself. He would abandon his dreams to become a soccer player just because his father wants him to be a doctor. He would quit singing and dancing because his society demeans it, belittles it. Well, if all people were such, then I assure you that the torch to the road of greatness would have long been extinguished. Ladies and gentlemen, the road to glory is not for those who fear themselves, who lurk in the shadows, who doubt every footstep they take, who cannot dare to look themselves in the eye and say, I am here to win. What these people fail to notice is that one's biggest enemy is himself. The only obstacle setting you back is you. You are too afraid to face failure or rejection by your society. You are too afraid to wage a battle in which you might lose. You are too afraid because you think you are not up to it, that you are not perfect. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but your fears will come true. You will get rejected by your society, and you will fall over and over and over again. And defeat will leave an everlasting bitter taste in your mouth. But don't you back down. Let your pain be your drive. Embrace your pain. For it will be your source of pride once you're on top of that mountain. There are 7.4 billion people breathing the same air as I do and walking on the same planet as mine. So if I don't attempt to make my footprint on the moist soil of history and break the boundaries of the possible, I'll become just another number, another body soon to turn to dust. Greatness lies in our palms, ladies and gentlemen. So if we don't confront our fears and take our leaps of faith into the dark, mysterious world of the unknown, we all know very well that no one is going to hand us greatness or glory. So go ahead and ask yourselves, what am I doing with my life? Is this what I truly want to be? Don't be what others want you to be. Don't let your doubts deter you from what you really should be caring about. Your goals, your ambitions, and above all, your self-approval. If there is any advice that I could give you, it would be Les Brown's most famous words. Shoot for the moon, for even if you miss, you will land among the stars. So when I look back at that mirror, and I ask myself one more time, what am I? I am whatever I want to be. I define my shapes and lines. I am not what my father wants me to be. I am not what my society enforces on me. I define my own reflection. And above all, I will take my own journey to greatness. Thank you.
Thank you. Your time was 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Any questions?
No questions.
Thank you.
Muhammad. Let's welcome on stage Omar Kakaji.
Hello world, I have money. Can I change you? No. I have wit. Can I change you? No. I have morals. Watch me change you. My name is Omar Salman Kakaji, and I have a confession. I was a bad person, but it didn't start out that way. I was good. I swear I was, until something happened that turned me into a good person. Once, I was waiting for my friends to go out and have some fun. There, I saw this old man. He looked hurt. He looked hungry. I wanted to give him some money. As I was rummaging through my wallet, there I saw this 3-year-old kid just ran to him and gave him half of his own sandwich. Ever since I was young, I kept on saying, when I'm older, I'll do good. When I'm older. I'm 17 now, still the same. I would like to ask the audience one question. Do you consider yourselves good people? Yes. It's a definite yes. But in reality, we lack in morals a lot. And this is what I care for. I care for you, I care for you, I care for making this world a better place through making people better people. How? Compassion. Let's take a look at our Lebanese community. A girl is hurt. She's pouring her heart out to her friend. What's her friend's response? Psh, I thought he had real problems. You know, her problems may be trivial to you, but she's not you. Be kind. Show compassion. But what is compassion? Compassion is a driving source. Compassion is a desire to help. And compassion can never be corrupted. You either have it or you do not. And if you do not, go get it. How? Plato says, be kind, for everyone you meet is facing a harder battle than yours. So the first step, softening this. Just let love in and the ideas of helping people just spur out of you. And just a quick reminder to the masculine audience out there, what if I told you that crying or showing compassion doesn't hurt your manly ego? So give and show love, because when you show love to a person, he will in turn show love, and thus the cycle happens. So compassion is contagious. Spread it like a wildfire. The second step is give. Change that mentality that says, what can I do to help? To what can I do to offer? They may sound the same, but they're not. Let's take Gandhi, for example. Gandhi had a high degree of ethics. If he had used them, he would be at max a president of India. But if he hadn't given us his time, his body, and his soul, he wouldn't be the beacon of hope he is today. Let's go to a more local scale. Rafik Hariri. Rafik Hariri had intelligence and wit. If he had used them, he would be at max a prime minister of Lebanon. But if he hadn't given us his time, his money, and his life, I wouldn't be on the stage of Rafik Hariri University. So always give, always show love, because in the words of John Bunyan, you haven't lived. You haven't lived until you've done something for someone who can never repay you. And remember this, people will forget what you've told them. People will forget what you've done to them. But people will never forget how you made them feel. So I would like just one of you to do just one good deed today, and I would have fulfilled the purpose of my speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Your time was 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
Any questions?
Seems no questions. Thank you. Our last contestant is Rafik Sabah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong? Because it seems that half of you are scared. To answer your question, yes, I am a Muslim. But to answer yours, no. I will not blow myself up. I will not take you all hostages, force you to convert to Islam, and I will certainly not start running around yelling Allahu Akbar. Well, most of you are thinking, well then, what are you going to do? What does a kid diagnosed with stage 2 Islam care about? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I care for my future. When I see racists like Donald Trump leading the polls with a magic 50%, I stop and think, why? Why do people actually support Trump in his policy against immigrants and against Muslims? At first, I wanted to believe that I was living in an era of equality and justice, where the whole world respects all religions, including Islam, and where Muslims weren't barbaric or violent. But reality struck me when Ahmed Muhammad got arrested. Ahmed is a 14-year-old teen, 2 years younger than me, who wanted to become an engineer. He had manufactured a digital clock out of a pencil case. It was so cool. It was so awesome that he was so excited to show it to his teacher. And instead of being praised, Ahmed was actually arrested. He was arrested because he had committed the crime of a hoax bomb. Seriously? Well, if that's the case, then I'm afraid I might end up like Ahmed one day. But why? Why should it be like this? And why do people keep discriminating against Muslims? Well, one of the main misconceptions about Islam is that all Muslims found in the West are immigrants who do not blend with Western societies due to their religious beliefs. They are either from the Middle East or one of the beat-down countries of the East. However, a great deal of Americans and Europeans are Muslims who occupy ordinary jobs, live normal lives, and who cannot be distinguished as Muslims. Would I say then that these Westerns are radical or fanatic? Would I say that Dr. Oz is radical? How about Ice Cube or Shaquille O'Neal? Are they violent because they are Muslims? Relating religion to extremism is preposterous. However, I don't blame you guys on having thoughts like that. I don't blame you guys on thinking that just because I'm a Muslim, I came here to pull myself up. But what I do blame is the Western media and TV shows that depicts Islam in such a heinous manner. Tell me if I'm wrong. In all Western action films, in every single one, we see a Muslim Arab dressed in ripped, cheap clothes, holding an AK-47 in one hand and a grenade in the other. We see him illogical, unreasonable, barbaric, violent. He answers only to the sheikh, a mean old man with a beard longer than my sister's hair, wearing a white flowing robe. We see these characters targeting an area of innocent civilians, yelling Allahu Akbar before raiding the shop or blowing themselves up. Let's think about it, shall we? Could we say that Muslims are violent due to the presence of organizations like Al-Qaeda or ISIS? Well then, why shouldn't I say that Christians are unreasonable due to the presence of organizations like the KKK? What about the RSS, labeled as the #1 terrorist organization in India? Should I then conclude that all Hindus are fanatic? There are other multiple organizations that commit horrendous attacks in the name of their religion. However, I know, you guys know, and the whole world knows that the KKK does not resemble Christianity, and that the RSS definitely does not resemble Hinduism. I stand in front of you, O face of Allah, a student at Rafik Hariri High School who dreams of studying abroad. I can only hope that I get the chance of saying Assalamu alaikum without the fear of being arrested or being discriminated against. Ladies and gentlemen, I care for my future. I care for the future of all Muslims, and you should too. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Afir. Your time was 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Jury, any questions?
Thank you.
Judges, would you please retire with Dr. Najwa Faris to the engineering lounge so that you can choose your top 5.
Okay, meanwhile, we will announce the winners of the first National School Essay Competition.